All right, class. First off, as always, good day. I'm glad you're here. I know earlier I said if you were in class, I know I said I was gonna make these videos and put them on YouTube around 4 o'clock. I do apologize because I forgot I had a doctor's appointment. I forgot when I got home that my neighbor's birthday was today, and also my godson has his first wrestling match. So I've been kind of busy, and I just like, oh my god, I gotta make these lecture videos for you guys. So I do apologize for the tardiness of these videos, but I just have a lot going on in one day, and a lot of the stuff I forgot. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started with this lesson. So we're going to analyze the importance of the First Amendment. Okay, uh, again, I found out some stuff which I kind of already knew, but I was kind of hopeful that maybe things had changed from years to years, and it's still the same, especially dealing with the freedom of speech. We're going to examine the true meaning of the Second Amendment. And lastly, we're going to create an argument on when should a joke not be protected by the First Amendment. Okay. So here is your warm up picture. Now, the question's asking you, what do you think this artist is trying to say about these two political parties? So the donkey is the Democrats, the elephants, the Republicans. Um, and what are they doing to your Bill of Rights? Okay. So look at the tool that they have in their hands, and that should give you an idea. Is that tool used to build something, you know, or break it down? So using that information, um, tell me, what is this artist trying to say about the political parties and your Bill of Rights? Okay. So think about it, pause the video, write your response, because we're moving on in three, two, one. All right. So in our Constitution, we have a total of 27 amendments. Okay. Now, the first 10 is known as the Bill of Rights. It's not a separate document, it's not something else away from the amendments. No, it's the first 10 amendments. Okay. And I just want you guys to know that because I've heard some people in the past saying, like, oh, no, we have these amendment rights and then we have the Bill of Rights. I'm like, the Bill of Rights is part of our amendments, so it's it just showed me that they don't know what they're talking about. Okay, and I don't want that for you guys. Okay, now these amendments, I basically took them straight from the Constitution. Okay, just straight copied and pasted. Okay, so this is how it's written down in the Constitution. Right, First Amendment says Congress shall make no laws respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press or the right of the people peacefully to assemble and to petition the government for a redress of grievance. Now, what in the world does that mean? Well, let's break it down, all right? The first part says that you have the right to any religion you want in this country, despite of what some people try to say, like, oh, this is a Christian country. No, we are a nation of multiple religions. So it's not just Christian, Catholic, it's Muslim, it's Hindu, it's Taoist, it's whatever. Okay. And also, if you want to worship like Family Guy, you can. You have that right. Okay. Now, a student asked me in class, so you can make up any religion you want, here in America. Technically, yes, but there are some stipulations that are needed, some guideline things that are needed in order for it to qualify as a religion. Okay. You just can't say, oh, I'm going to make a religion of this. No, you have to make sure it fits the criteria. One of those things is like making sure you don't like sacrifice people. Yeah, human sacrifices, that's a no-no in this country. Okay, because that's murder. So no. Okay. The next part says freedom of speech. We're gonna save that for a little bit later because that there's a lot to that. Okay. Freedom of the press, meaning newspapers and magazine people, even people who write blogs, and things like that. They too can be considered part of the press. It's just what kind of press? Are they really about giving information, or are they about spreading rumors and things like that. And that we'll get to in a little bit. Okay. The next one says the right of the people peacefully to assemble. So let's say the school district says we're gonna make the school year like year round. So you're gonna have little breaks here, little breaks there, and that's it. But you're gonna be going to school all year round. No summer break, no winter break. If every student at the school and other surrounding schools got together and they marched, that is a peaceful assembly. Now, as soon as they start destroying property, you know, acting a fool and like throwing things against, stuff like going against traffic or things like that, that's where it gets to become a riot. You know, it's no longer peaceful. Okay. The next part, the petition the government for redress of grievance. Meaning, if you got a gripe against the government, you can say it. You can tell the government, I don't like what you guys are doing. When you guys redid this road in our town, you messed it up. It's stupid. You guys need it. You can say that kind of stuff, and you can let the city, the state, the federal government know, hey, you're messing up. I don't like this. This is dumb. You have that right to say that. Okay. And let them know as well. Now, going back to the freedom of speech, because this thing is huge. You guys do not have total freedom of speech. I want that to be absolutely clear. Okay. Um, One of the most important cases was Schneck versus the United States. Okay. And basically, what happened was this guy Schneck was trying to get people to not go for the draft of World War One, and the Chief Justice says he was creating a clear and present danger. Okay. Now, that term alone has resonated quite a bit, clear and present danger. Now, an example of this would be like if you went to a theater and you know there's no fire. You know there's not one. There isn't going to be one. But yet you're going to do it anyway because your true intention is to like record it on TikTok, make people, scramble around, be scared, things like that, record it for your followers and all that kind of stuff. That is inciting a riot, and causing a clear and present danger. Because people are going to be scared. They're not going to file out single handedly and things like that. They're going to just trample one another and things like that. So people are going to get hurt, and it's because of you. Now, a student tried to tell me in class, oh, well, if I did that, they can't do anything to me because I'm under 18. Guys, no. The state can go after you whether you're under 18 or not. They can still charge you as an adult. The state of Mississippi charged a 14-year-old kid as an adult for a crime. Um, and the thing is too, if it's a federal crime as well, the government will come after you. So like I said in class, if you stole a car and you went from California to Nevada, you cross a state line, and that now makes it a federal charge. And the federal government will come after you. And they don't care how old you are and things like that. They're going to come after you. Okay. So again, anything that might cause a panic, people to get hurt and things like that, and there is no danger. Okay. Now, a student asked me to do, well, let's say there was a little fire in the theater and you said, fire, fire, but there was a fire, like a little tiny one. Does that count? No, because there was actually a little fire, you know. Now, you may have exaggerated it, but there still was a fire. So that's okay. You are protected. Okay. But it's when there is no danger, there's no danger, and you're doing it just because out of spite and you don't care about consequences, people might get hurt and things like that. That's where you can get in trouble. Now, hate speech. These are for those people who say things about other people who are racist and things like that. And they say, oh, these people, they should go back to Mexico. These people should go back to this and that. They should leave our country. Believe it or not, that's type of speech, it is protected by the First Amendment. It is protected because the thing is, that's their opinion. Now, if they were to say, I'm going to go kill every Mexican and this and that there is, now that is no longer an opinion. That's now considered a threat, a true threat. And that's one of the things not protected by the First Amendment: slander, sedition, true threats, fighting words, copyright. Those are not protected. Okay. Um, so, like I've said in the class too, if you've ever played games online and someone says, I'm gonna, make a bomb and drop it at your house, and and I'm gonna kill you, that it can be seen as a true threat, because here's the thing: look at everything they said. They're gonna make a bomb. Is it easy to find a bomb? How to make a bomb online? Absolutely. Can they find out where you live? Yeah. If they know your IP address, they can find out where you live. You know, so that's now considered a true threat. So talking like that, you can't say, "Well, I don't know how to do that." Well, the thing is, you can find out, and if you made a threat like that, you can get in trouble. Okay. Now, also too, going to slander. Um, if you post something online saying, "Oh, I know this guy. It's I go to school with him. He beat up his girlfriend. She's pregnant with his baby. He made her drink Drano. He kicked her down some stairs. He beat her with like a dead puppy." All kinds of horrible things like that. If you post that, and let's say that guy can't get a job because they looked him up online, they saw that, hey, he did all this stuff, they may not hire him. If people in his neighborhood found out, hey, oh, he did this and that, they might shun him or make his life very difficult for where he lives. Things like that, where it really impedes and hurts a person's livelihood, they can sue you for slander because that was not true. And it's hurting their life, where they can't get a job, they don't feel safe where they live anymore because of this post. So you got to be careful what you put on there, okay, and the wording you use. Now, on this part, you guys have a section on your paper that says 6, 7, 8, 9, and there's like a blank line. You guys are going to be writing yes or no on it. Is this particular scenario protected by free speech? Okay. Now, two of them is kind of like yes and no, because what is being said is not very clear. It's not, you need more little information, more context in order to make a clear, definitive decision on is it yes or no. So two of them is yes and no. The rest of them is clearly a yes or a no. So like number 6, I'll go through it with you, okay? It says, while at a hospital, telling people there's an active shooter, but there isn't one. You know there isn't one. So that would not be protected, because again, that would cause a clear and present danger. People are going to be scrambling to get patients out and things like that, and it's just going to cause a riot, and all because you wanted to laugh or you wanted to really record it on video and get some views. So that's a no. That's not protected. All right. Now, number 7 through 13, I'm going to read them, but you are going to write them down, whether they're protected or not. And there's two of them again that are kind of yes and no, so you could put like both. Okay. So number 7 says verbally threatening to fight somebody. Number 8, spreading a small rumor about a guy you don't like on social media. Number 9, posting a series of memes making fun of someone non-specifically, meaning you're not saying, "Oh, it's this guy Ted." Instead, you're saying, "Oh, this is about all people with dark hair." Well, there's a lot of people with dark hair, so that's not specifically aimed at one particular person. Okay, that's what number 9 means. Number 10, saying you'll kill someone on social media or playing online. Number 11, going through a movie theater shouting fire, fire when there's no fire. That should sound familiar. Number 12, holding a rally saying some people should be kicked out of our country. And number 13, writing a harsh opinion comment on YouTube. So again, go through them. Again, we already did number 6. Go through 7 through 13 and put yes or no on whether this is protected by the freedom of speech. Again, if you don't understand freedom of speech, go back in the video and rewatch that whole part. Okay. And remember, there are two of them of these that are kind of yes and no, just it needs more context. Okay. All right. So here we go. The Second Amendment, one of the most controversial amendments we have. I have a lot of friends who are gun nuts. They just love guns. And they always remember that second half of it. The right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Me, being the history nut and loving our Constitution, always tells them, well, what's the first part? What's the first half of it? No, 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 no. The only important part is the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Yeah, no. That's like saying, let's read the end of the story and say I read the whole book. It doesn't work that way. The whole thing is a well regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Because the thing is, you have to remember, you have to put this in context. This was written back when the United States did not have an army. We really didn't. And you needed citizen soldiers to fight, not only to protect the state, but to protect the nation. Okay, that's what a militia is, citizen soldiers. Okay, and their job is to protect the state, keep it free. So in order to do that, they need their guns. Now, do we have a military now? Absolutely. Absolutely. We have the best military in the world. Army, Navy, Marines, Air Force, Coast Guard. I mean, you name it, we got the best, right? Um, so we don't really need citizen soldiers anymore. Now, here's the thing, because I was called by a student some years ago. They're like, "Oh, Mr. Martinez, are you one of those hippies who don't like guns?" No, 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 no. I don't think guns don't. It's like, oh my God, we get rid of the guns, everything will be so hunky dory because guns are evil. No, but I also don't think you should. Everyone should have a stockpile of guns that are not necessary. Like you shouldn't have a bazooka, and things like that. So I don't believe that. Um, but the thing is, uh, as time has gone on, we've come to realize, yeah, we do need to protect ourselves. We need to protect not only ourselves, our family, our possessions, things like that. So the right to bear arms, yeah, you know, but again, you got those nut people saying on both sides, like everyone should have a gun and all type of guns and things like that. The bigger the better. And some say, oh no, get rid of them all because they're all evil. No, they're both nuts. Like people like myself, I believe, who are like-minded and pretty good, think, hey, 22s, 9 millimeters, 44s, those guns are good to keep around the house, protect yourself and your belongings and your family. But machine guns, Gatling guns, type of, mini guns, you don't need those. Are they fun to shoot? Absolutely. But do you need it to protect your family? You're going to destroy your home before you get to the intruder. Okay. Um. So yeah, that's my position. Uh, but again, like I said, it's a very contested and arguable um, amendment. Okay. Now here's the thing too. You have to remember, every state is different. Here in California, there's a long list of things that you have to do to make sure your gun is proper and safe here. So like no modifications, your clip size has to be a certain amount. You can't do certain things to the gun. Uh, it has to come as sometimes as is. Now you go to a state like Texas, they'll give you a gun with a Beretta with your bagel. You know they just don't care. And the thing is, I've had some students in class say, "Well, I'm just going to go to Texas, buy some guns, and come over here." Here's the thing: you still got to register them. Why? Because you live here. It doesn't matter where you bought them. It's matter where you live and where the guns are going to be. That's what matters. So yeah, you can buy all the guns you want elsewhere around the country, but as soon as you bring them across the California border, They have to be registered and all that good stuff, or else they can take it away and then you can be charged. Okay. Now, let's say you go in reverse. You go from California to Texas and you go, hey, I want to register my gun. They might look at you like, we don't do that around here, you know? And that's their laws. That's their thing. But again, every state is different. Some states like Arizona, they say, yeah, you can carry your gun in the holster, keep it out, things like that. But if a store says they don't want guns inside, you can't bring your gun inside. And I had a student in class yesterday say, well, I would just cover it with my shirt. No, because you're breaking the law right there. Even though you can be like, oh, it's my right to carry a gun. Yeah, yeah, beautiful. Yeah, it is. But the state law says you cannot, when the store says you can't bring a gun inside, you have to respect that. So again, every state is different. And if you move to another state or you go visit for a bit, make sure you know the laws. Okay, don't just be like, well, I'm from Texas, I can do what I want. No, that laws are from that state, and then this other state is different. Okay. The Third Amendment doesn't really apply anymore. It basically says that a soldier can't stay in your house. Um, that used to be a problem back in the 14th, 15th, 16th century, and it started to really die out in the 17th century. Um, but our framers put that in there just in case it might happen again. So yeah, a soldier can't stay in your house without your permission, and if they are going to stay at your place, it has to be made by law. Okay, that they just can't just bust in. All right, so here's my question to you. Where do you draw the line on freedom of speech when it comes to jokes? Okay, now, like I told my students in class, um, some of my friends don't make jokes about cancer anymore because, well, I have cancer. So they tend to stay away from it now. Now they draw the line there. Whereas before, we would make a joke about anything and everything. And I'm trying to tell them, no, 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 tell the joke anyway. Nah, man, no, no, I don't feel comfortable telling that joke. So they made that line right there. Okay, so where do you draw the line? About making fun of handicapped people, babies, old people, people with mental disabilities, um, dead puppies. I mean, where do you draw the line? Now, also too, before you start writing, I had a student too tell me, "Well, I don't have a line. I make a joke about anything." I'm like, "Okay, let's flip it. Can somebody say a joke, any joke about you, your family, things like that, your grandma, whatever? You have a disabled family member. Can they make a joke about disabled people? That's your family, your cousin, or whatever." Nobody ever say anything about my grandma. I'm like, well, see, there you go. That's your line. If you can spill the joke, you better be able to take one. So if you make fun of someone's grandma, they better be allowed to say something about your grandma. Because if not, that's where your line is. You have no problem spilling it, but you can't take it. So that's where your line is. Okay, so think about it. Where do you draw the line of, okay, these jokes over here, from this part on, this is way too much. This is bad, and these are okay. You know, where do you draw that line? About racist jokes, old people being old, people again with like cancer, things like that. Where do you draw that line? Okay, so really want you to think about it and then write it down. Now, once you're finished, you're done with this lesson. So good job, way to go. Now, next class, next lesson, next video is going to be about the Fourth, Fifth, and Sixth Amendment. These are crucial, guys. It's imperative that you show up to class. If you can't be there for whatever reason, make sure you really pay attention to the video, okay? So, with that being said, you guys take care, be safe, and I'll see you guys later, okay?